Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. I hope you all are doing very well, and today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 20th of January 2023. Let's start with our session. What is the name of the world's longest river cruise which was flagged off by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi? So recently our Prime Minister flagged off the world's longest river cruise named as MV Ganga Vilas, where in Varanasi, right? And this cruise will begin its journey from Varanasi and sail around 3200 kilometers in 51 days to reach Dibrugarh, and Dibrugarh lies in the state of Assam via Bangladesh. Okay, so Prime Minister also inaugurated a tent city on the banks of the Ganga River in Varanasi via video conferencing. Fine. So two things are important. What is the name of the world's longest river cruise? It is MV Ganga Vilas, and from where it has been flagged off. So answer would be Varanasi. Okay. Next is India's first 3 times platform wind turbine generators has been installed in which particular state? So Renew Power has installed India's first 3 times platform wind turbine generators in Gadag in the state of Karnataka. And this new wind turbine generator will be a part of the country's first round-the-clock renewable energy project. So it basically combines wind, solar and a battery energy storage system. So this project will produce energy to power over 1 million households in India annually. Fine. Again, two things are important. This particular generator has been installed in Karnataka state, and also you can be asked that which company has installed it. So that would be Renew Power. Next is, after Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Punjab, which state recently restored the old pension scheme for the government employees? So Himachal Pradesh government decided to restore the old pension scheme for the government employees who were covered under the national pension system. And before this, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Punjab have also rolled out this old pension scheme. So this decision will benefit over 1.36 lakh NPS employees of the state. And a cabinet subcommittee has been constituted for the implementation of granting 1500 rupees to the women of 18 to 60 years. Okay. So which states have restored the old pension scheme? These are Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. Next is, the Supreme Court recently struck down a provision of income tax which denied exemption to the women of which particular state? Supreme Court has recently struck down a provision of income tax which denied exemption to the women of Sikkim who have married to non-Sikkimis. Okay, and Section 10 of Income Tax Act 1961 excluded the Sikkimis women who have married a non-Sikkimis after 1st of April 2008 from getting exemption under the Act. Okay, and now the Supreme Court observed that the section is totally discriminatory and violation of Articles 14, 15 and 21 of the Indian Constitution. Fine. So that's why Supreme Court has recently struck down a provision of income tax that denied the exemption to the women of Sikkim. Fine. Now talking about the fundamental rights of Indian Constitution, Articles 12 to 35 deal with the fundamental rights, and there are total 6 fundamental rights, which are these. First is right to equality, then second is right to freedom, next is third is right against exploitation, then fourth is right to freedom of religion, then fifth is cultural and educational rights, and the sixth is right to constitutional remedies. Okay, I hope you all know these 6 fundamental rights, and Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar has said that article number 32, that is right to constitutional remedies, is the heart and soul of Indian Constitution. Okay, and what is the specialty about the fundamental rights? These are the basic human rights enshrined in the Constitution of India and which are guaranteed to all the citizens. So they are applied without discrimination on the basis of race, religion, caste, sex and gender. Okay, and fundamental rights are enforceable by the courts. Now earlier there was one more fundamental right in the Constitution named as right to property, but later on it was removed from the list of fundamental rights by 44th Constitutional Amendment Act. Fine, and now the right to property is a legal right and not a fundamental right. Okay, next is Buxwaha Mine, which was seen in the news recently, is located in which Indian state? So EMTL means SL Mining and Industries Limited, which is a subsidiary of Aditya Birla Group, has been trying to operationalize a big diamond project in the state of Madhya Pradesh. And now there are protests over human displacement, environmental damage, loss of livelihood, etc. These are the reasons why protests are happening in the state of Madhya Pradesh. So this mine is inside a forest in Buxwaha, which is located at 200 kilometers from Sanchi, Madhya Pradesh. And talking about Madhya Pradesh, it accounts for about 90% of the total diamond resource of the country, and Andhra Pradesh and Chhattisgarh states are the other 2 states that produce diamond. Fine. So I hope you understand why this mine is in news, and this mine lies in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Next is Dekho Apna Desh campaign is associated with which union ministry? So Dekho Apna Desh campaign was launched by Ministry of Tourism at Konark in the state of Odisha. Okay, in accordance with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's appeal to travel to at least 15 destinations by the year 2022 so as to promote domestic tourism. Fine. So recently Indian Railways has launched Bharat Gaurav tourist train in line with Dekho Apna Desh initiative. Fine. So the train runs on a route that connects the pilgrimage sites of Ayodhya in India and Janakpur in the country Nepal. Fine. So this campaign is related to Ministry of Tourism. Next is, which state is the host of the Think 20 meeting held under G20? So several personalities from across the globe attended this Think 20 meeting, which was held under G20 in Bhopal in the state of Madhya Pradesh. And various topics including global governance with life, values and well-being were discussed in the meeting. So the main speaker at the inaugural session was Tetsushi Sonobe, who is the Dean and the CEO of Asian Development Bank Institute, Tokyo. Fine. So Madhya Pradesh is the host of this Think 20 meeting that was held under G20. This is an important question. Next is, which state adopted a bill to make its language compulsory for the state government jobs? So Tamil Nadu Assembly amended a legislation to make securing a pass in Tamil language paper compulsory for recruitment to the state government services. And this act was amended with retrospective effect from 1st of December 2021, and earlier the act said that the employees should pass a second class language test in Tamil within a period of 2 years from the date of their appointment, failing which they shall be discharged from the service. Okay, so this state is Tamil Nadu, that has adopted a bill to make its Tamil language compulsory for the state government jobs. Next is, what was India's trade deficit with China in the year 2022? So the trade deficit for India stood at $101 billion, crossing the $100 billion mark for the very first time. And this trade between India and China touched an all-time high of $135.98 billion in 2022, according to the data released by the Chinese Custom. Okay, so the total India-China trade was 8.4% higher than the $125 billion mark in 2021, while China's exports to India climbed up to $118.5 billion, and with this it has rose by 21.7% year-on-year basis. So Indian exports to China dipped to $17.48 billion. Fine. So India's trade deficit with China is $101 billion in the year 2022. And what do you understand by the term trade deficit? It means the amount by which the cost of a country's imports exceeds the country's exports. Okay. Now last question is, what is the retail inflation based on CPI in December 2022 in India? So retail inflation based on the consumer price index eased to a one-year low of 5.72% in December 2022. And the inflation figure dipped from 5.88% that was recorded in the month of November. So as per the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation data, the retail inflation slipped to the lowest level since December 2021, and CPI has come below the Reserve Bank of India's upper margin of 6% for the first time in the calendar year 2022. Fine. So if you're asked that what is a retail inflation based on the consumer price index for the month of December 2022, so answer would be 5.72%. Okay. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now we'll start with December 2022 current affairs revision. And this is part 11 in this series. In this session, we'll be covering the questions from question number 151 up to question number 165. Let's start. First is, Sela Pass Tunnel, which was seen in the news recently, is located in which Indian state? So the Sela Pass Tunnel is being built by the Border Roads Organization. Why? To provide all-weather connectivity to the China border in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. And this tunnel has been built at a height of 13,000 feet, and basically it will give the Indian Army access to the line of actual control near Tawang. Okay. Raitu Bandhu is a flagship scheme of which Indian state or the Union Territory? This scheme is being implemented by the state of Telangana, and the government offers crop investment to the farmers through this program at a rate of 10,000 rupees per acre for both Kharif and Rabi seasons. Fine. Next question is, as per the United Nations Nature Deal, what percentage of the planet is sought to be protected by the year 2030? So this deal has proposed to protect at least 30% of the planet by 2030. And at present, just 17% of terrestrial and 10% of marine areas are protected. Fine. And this proposal called on the rich countries to increase their financial help to the developing world to $20 billion annually by 2025. And with this, they would increase this amount to $30 billion per year by 2030. Why? To save their ecosystem. The Great Barrier Reef is located in which particular country? So this barrier reef is the world's largest coral reef system, and it lies in the country Australia. Right? Why it was in news? Because the scientists who are working on this reef have successfully trialed a new method for freezing and storing the coral lava. And as per the scientist, this could help rebuild the reefs which are threatened by the climate change. Fine. Next is Central Consumer Protection Authority was established in which year? This authority was established in 2020 and it was formed on the basis of Consumer Protection Act 2019. So recently this authority has sent the notices to the e-commerce players like Flipkart and the Meesho. Why? For gross violations of the norms related to sale of asset on their platforms. Next is, as per South Korea and Japan, which country has fired 2 medium-range ballistic missiles towards the Korean peninsula? So as per these two countries, North Korea has fired the 2 medium-range ballistic missile towards Korean peninsula. Which footballer won the Golden Boot Award in the FIFA World Cup 2022? Golden Boot Award was presented to Kylian Mbappe. And who was given the Golden Bat Award? It was given to Lionel Messi. And the Golden Glove Award was given to Emiliano Martinez. And talking about FIFA World Cup, Argentina has won this cup by defeating the country France. Which city is the chair of Urban 20 events to be held in India as part of its G20 presidency? So Chief Minister of Gujarat, Mr. Bhupendra Patel, has recently launched the Urban 20 logo, website and the social media handles, and Ahmedabad city got the chairmanship of Urban 20 events on urban development, which is to be held under the G20 summit. Okay. Here you are asked about the city, so answer would be Ahmedabad. If you would have asked about the state, so that would be Gujarat. Which sports person has been named as the BPSC Sports Personalities World Sport Star of the Year for 2022? So Lionel Messi has been named as BBC Sport Personalities World Sport Star of the Year for 2022. The Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework has 23 targets that the world needs to achieve by which year? So the Conference of Parties to the United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity adopted this Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, and it has total 23 targets that the world needs to achieve by 2030. Fine. So this figure is very important, that is 23 targets, and by which year we have to achieve it? By 2030. Next is, which institution released the report titled as Coal 2022 Analysis and Forecast to 2025? This was a report from International Energy Agency, and as per the report, the global coal demand is set to increase to an all-time high in 2022, and this demand is mainly driven by the coal power growth in the countries like India, European Union, and to a smaller extent to the country China. Fine. And the largest increases in coal burn are forecasted for China, India, and Southeast Asia. Fine. Which Union Ministry launched the country's first ever surety bond insurance product? This surety bond insurance product has been launched by Union Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari. Who is the chair of the Parliamentary Committee report which laid the report COVID-19 Pandemic, Global Response, India's Contributions and the Way Forward? So this report was recently presented in the Lok Sabha, and the chair of this committee was P.P. Chaudhary. Fine. And the committee recommended that the government should come out with a ready-to-act plan to rule out any shortage of medicines or equipment during another national health emergency. Fine. As per the Speed Test Global Index, which country had the highest media mobile download speed in the month of November? So in November, Qatar had the highest media mobile download speed, and India's rank was 71st. Also, Chile country had the highest fixed broadband download speed. Which country launched a biometric service in its airport under which no passport or ticket will be required? So UAE has launched a biometric service at the Abu Dhabi airport under which no passport or ticket will be required, and the passenger's face will be his boarding pass. And this advanced artificial intelligence technology is designed by Abu Dhabi based tech company Next 50. Fine. So these are the next 15 questions from the month of December, and tomorrow we'll be doing the questions from 166 up to 180. Okay. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Meenu Hadsana signing off.